Ava Raiza.
Wow.
That one's for you, Knight. Wherever you are.
Yes, you did it.
Ava Raiza. I got the name correctly. I'm sorry for mispronouncing it before.
It's okay.
And I am sorry that I was late. I was reading all the names on Twitter and of all the people that have done this show, you included, and I was thanking everyone. And that's
you included.
The miscommunication we had when you first emailed me, which, by the way, you emailed me on my
what did you say?
On my alt account that I never really go on. So when you got mad at me and threatened to go on WATP, I was like,
yeah, I did do that.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
It worked. You responded.
Well, only because I suddenly realized, wait a second, I had Ava on before. I didn't know that. I'm sure you know I get trolled by a billion people all the time. And I get people emailing me on that alt account all the time. So I don't know what's real and what's not real. So that I apologize for.
Don't you hate it when you're not sure what's real and what's not real?
The only reality is mine.
You know,
it's called psychosis,
right?
In the medical field.
And I like how. Yeah, go ahead.
I painted myself into a deception corner. You understand? Like I created all this mess. I don't know how to get out of it.
And I like that he's such a wet brain from drinking that he can't remember who he's had on his show. But then he goes, listen, you know I get trolled a lot. So sometimes I forget who's been on. What does being trolled have to do with someone who's been a guest on your show?
Right.
And I don't go on that email that much. So that I apologize as well.
Yeah, this is the best. Wait, I was trolling him right now. Yeah. Exactly.
I'm impressed he didn't go on and say, I love that. I can't believe I have the lead singer of The Cure here. You are amazing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll give you my real email address. That's the one that I predominantly use. So my apologies on that.
He said predominantly?
Predominantly.
It's my favorite era.
I don't post-dominantly use it. I predominantly use it.
That's the one that I predominantly use. So my apologies on that.
Well, you're not. So
this guy was a teacher.
You're never going to do the show again?
No, this is my last show. That's why I was.
Why don't you just
because I've had it with all the nonsense.
Woo! You know what's crazy about this? Here you have someone like Ava, who, from what I can remember, grew up in the South. I believe says that she's Muslim, family's Muslim, and she's trans. Right? Imagine the shit that Ava had to deal with.
Difficult upbringing.
Yes,
right.
The final boss of that shit.
Right. Yeah. Right. And this guy's going to sit here and look at Ava and go, you know what? It's a little too toxic for me.
Yeah, I made 90 grand last year. But yeah.
Pussy.
Well, wait, he does ask her about that in a little bit, what it was like coming out to her family. So give him a chance.
Because I've had it with all the nonsense, and I've had it with, like, I just had people showing up at my door. Oh, I meant to.
Didn't this guy just show up at Melton's place? Didn't he just show up at Kevin's place?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Send you the anti-trans stuff that someone posted on my door. I'm not going to mention the name, Baby Fat. So anyway, it was.
And I'll send you my stand-up, which also has a lot of anti.
Right. And someone posted anti-trans, as opposed to me saying 10 minutes ago, I don't care about the trans. I care about America transitioning.
Listen, I knew you had a really hard upbringing in the South, being Muslim and trans, but somebody left a note on my door.
Somebody shined their lights through my window. Wow.
If you think you're a victim, you should hear my sad tale. Wow.
Anti-trans and what it, I don't know. I'm sure you experience this on a daily basis, but I do as well.
Oh, wow. Boom. There it is. We're equally oppressed.
Yeah. Wow.
You're trans. I'm an asshole.
Right. I was anti-Trans Am for a lot of years until I rented one. God, has to make it about himself. Has to be a bigger victim. It's like,
Yes.
wow.
I just wrote a book about my victimhood called My Struggle. Apparently, there was one that was written in German, and I have to get the copyright for it.
I don't know. It sounded like a good title at the time. You know what? My bad. I should have done a little bit of research, I guess.
So
What's a comp? What the fuck's a comp?
If I come to you and say my cough, you know what that is right away? No.
So really, break this down where he's saying when he's doing his podcast, people are making fun of him. Because when he goes off in the real world, nobody knows who the fuck he is. They don't give a shit.
Not to mention his podcast is about making fun of other people.
Yeah.
I think her face says it all.
Right. It's not like he's doing a fucking, podcast about different species of birds and people are making fun of him out of the blue.
Yeah.
He's doing a show going after people. So people go after him and then he's like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Hey.
What are you doing over here?
But even that, when he gets off the air, he walks into the real world.
Yeah.
And he gets drunk at Stevie Tomatoes. He works out for 20 minutes at his gym. He goes and gets his wings and his Popeye's chicken.
Yeah.
She has to do this 24/7.
There is no clocking out.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
The stuff I get is just disturbing and pathetic and hateful and usually from anonymous people and people who post it on my door and run away like the child that they are.
Well, some of the people in your chat, I think even that Clay Dabbler, they're saying some vicious things about me. Like as soon as I got there, it was horrible.
Yeah, I'm not reading the chat too much, Ava. So I can't really. I put it in members only mode to try and keep out the trolls.
Let's bring him in and let me.
So he
I'll
wasn't
argue
looking
with
in
him
the
if they'll-
chat, so it's okay that Clay Dabbler was making anti-trans comments about Ava.
And meanwhile, Ava's like, well, then bring him on here. Let him say what he has to say to my face.
She's being brave.
Not only that, it's great radio. It's a great thing. It's a great
podcasting.
Yes, thank you. I know it's not radio.
now.
Yeah. It's radio. It's good radio. Not on my last show. I don't want to make this a show people would remember.
Yeah, but this theme is make love, not war.
To try and keep out the trolls.
Let's bring him in and let me. I'll argue with them if they.
Well, if I see one,
she just told you. She just told you who it was. Hey, thanks for watching that clip. We got a bunch more stuff from a bunch of different other shows. So if you want to support us, you want to be a part of what's happening here, subscribe, notify, and get yourself a membership. 2 levels, $5, $10. We got more bonus shows than we know what to do with. So help us out. Get in here.